Welcome back to part 2 with Awakened Truths.
Okay, we are going to be talking about what goes down in the back room.
Yeah, in that back room, a lot of us done been there. I'm telling you.
Yes.
And you know, in the comments, that's because you guys weren't good Jehovah's Witness. I already know they're going to be in the comments.
And you guys all wanted to be worldly.
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh,
that's
please.
they go to every time. But yeah, and make sure, drop the comments below for y'all backroom experiences too.
Yes, or one that you've heard of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get into it. All right. So for those who do not know, when we talk about the back room, we talking about the Judicial Committee with the elders.
Yeah.
So you got usually like the lobby. You know, you might have a second school with extra seats. And then you got this room with no windows. Usually there's no windows in the hall at all, but
Mine
definitely.
had two.
And yours did.
Yeah.
A lot of ours didn't have any windows. I think only one of them did out and about. But this elders room, they usually ain't got no windows. It sound like it's soundproof in there.
Yeah.
And it's a table that you sit
round
at.
Table.
Yup. And it's awkward silence. So if you basically get in trouble for something, you got to talk to the elders, and they arrange 3 of them to sit with you, regardless of your gender or your age. You could be a teenage girl, a teenage boy, an old lady. It don't matter. You got to sit with these weird old men.
Yes.
And you got to tell them what you did.
Yep.
And they ask, look, the amount of questions they ask you.
The amount of in-depth questions that they ask you. Like, if somebody goes in there confessing something, why do you need all the details? Because
they are, for them to come forward in the first place, that's why this fellowshipping is bogus, because this person obviously feels bad.
Feels repentant.
If they need to tell you something super embarrassing, you know, they making a confession, and they know they're going to be judged, they might lose their family structure and all of this stuff. And
see, you just made me think of something. You made me think of how fake so many of the witnesses are that are still in it and have never been in trouble. Because for you to feel guilt about something and to go forth and tell on yourself, basically, that right there in and of itself should show the repentance. Because there's so many other people that are in there giving talks, being in all of these presentations, you know, where their spirituality seems like it's unscathed.
Right.
And yet they've done dirt already.
Just like everybody else.
Yes.
Yep, they just ain't talk to nobody. And which is unfortunate, because when you go in and you tell them what happened, the first thing they want to ask you is who all knows.
Yes.
Who all knows. And JT explained this on XJW Critical Thinker. It's to protect the brand. That's what it's all about. We have to make the brand, the business look good. Yes. Who all knows about this that can kind of make us look bad as this perfect, you know, better than everybody organization.
It's the thing about, like, if a lot of people know about the situation, then okay, now you have to be used as an example.
Yep.
It's like literally what they did during slave times. Like, if you had somebody who ran away, they're going to hang you in front of everybody. You know? So it's very similar. Like, if there's a lot of people that know about whatever it is that you're getting disfellowship for, then you need to be disfellowshipped. You can't be like publicly or privately reproved, because there's too many people who have knowledge of the situation.
Exactly. So it's not something they can easily sweep up under the rug.
Yes. And another whole aspect of this whole backroom experience is the kind of questions that these men ask you. Like, they
don't care.
No, they don't care. And it is so awkward. It's like so many of the women and the men that we have talked to, like, they've had such an awkward experience in the back room because they are asking super intrusive questions.
That's like the main thing you talk about when you know somebody being in the back room is what they ask you.
Yeah, because
what they say.
It's just wild. You know what I mean? Like, things that you wouldn't think to ask somebody. So our one friend, she got disfellowship for playing the flute, and one of the elders is going to ask her, well, how deep did you put it in?
Like, what? And this is how you know these questions ain't got nothing to do with no Jehovah, no Bible, nothing. These are some sickos. These are some freaks, some old freaks.
I'm
like this. I swear, this is a known thing. All right, not to get too sidetracked. This is somebody I was supposedly friends with. But he was dating his sister, and it didn't work out. But her mom's super cool.
Yeah.
So him and the mom would still chop it up, or he would go over there. And one time, like, I don't think they was alone and stuff, but one time they was supposed to go to either they was going to a movie or they went to a movie. So he was studying with this freaky brother. This brother he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because all his talks, his examples is always something freaky, like something sexual is always tied into his talks. And some people just like,
nope, he's about to get one of them talks.
So he was studying with this brother, my homie was, and he brought up the fact that he was hanging with this older sister. But he was like in his 20s, she was like 40s.
Okay.
And he's like, the sister is very, as he called it, I'm gonna describe it, she's very top heavy. Like, that's what she's known for, being top heavy, but down to earth. He's gonna say, now, y'all imagine this, y'all at a movie and a sexual scene comes on and things is getting hot, and you know, Sister Blank, she's a very breasty woman. And my homie was like, I started to tell this fool, like, bro, what are you talking about?
Like, don't put
like,
your
he talking about
don't put that on me.
Things is getting hot. He's like, and she put a hand on your thigh when the movie is, and he like, bro, don't be putting your fantasies out on me.
Yeah,
and this is
all
a
that
married brother, like,
projection.
and this brother, him and his wife would be real touchy and at the meetings and stuff. And another elder joke one time, like, hey, get a room, like, you know. But yeah, this brother is like,
Don't put that
don't
on
put
me.
that on other
all
people.
Those projections.
Yeah, but they are very detailed perverts.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, it's no different from a mechanic shop or a barber shop. With, you know, these are Jehovah's Witnesses. So,
and I guarantee you don't have to know every single one of those details in order to come up with an answer of what kind of discipline a person is going to receive.
For real.
You know, you don't need to know all of that.
Like from the back, this fellowship, y'all. Yeah, like they are crazy for this stuff. But
no,
it's
really
more of they probably want to spice things up in their own marriage, and they ask, for real though, like, and thinking from a non-Jehovah's Witness perspective, like reality.
Like,
why are you asking this type of stuff?
Why are you asking? Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what is even worse is if like the person is underage, because a lot of these experiences it happens with girls that are underage in this, like, just paint this picture.
Teenagers.
You are a teenager, you are under the age of 18, and you're in this room with 3 middle-aged adult men without your parents, without anybody, who are asking you these very intrusive questions about many people's first ever sexual experience.
Right, and they want details.
They want details. Like, you're weird.
And this, what were you thinking? You know, this is what happened. They did ABC. Done.
Make a conclusion. Like, you don't have to know anything else.
That's it. I stole a car. Did you wear a seatbelt? How fast were you going?
What color was the car?
What color? What rate did you have the music on?
What's the license plate number?
All of this stuff that has nothing to do. You stole the car? Okay. This is what happened. All right. Are you sorry? Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. Seriously.
That's simple. This brings us to our next point. To figure out if you get disfellowshipped or not, in these judicial meetings, this is what they're supposed to do. So they call you in. I don't know if everybody's congregation is different, but from my memory, it's like you tell them, you know, you need to meet with them. They meet with you, and you come back and you talk again. It might be weeks later. Mine took weeks.
Yeah.
You know, it took weeks in between. So that was 2 weeks of just like, I don't know if I'm about to get this fellowship, whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah. I think mine was
about a week. So they bring you back. They talk to you. They send you out the room. This is where it gets tricky. They get the answers from, drum roll. They go, as 3 people, gonna come together, communicate with Jehovah. Jehovah gonna go, let them know if you repenting or not. And then somehow Jehovah talked to all 3 of them. I don't know if it's in silence, if they got their eyes closed and they sitting here like this and they, Eureka! And now they call you back in the room and they tell you what Jehovah just told them.
Yep.
And a lot of times they get it wrong. This is where they messed up. The one homie, Jaren_23, that's his YouTube channel on here.
Yes, check him out.
He cracked the code. He did one of the coldest things in history I'd have never heard of.
I know. His experience was so funny.
His was dope.
Yeah.
This dude, salute to him. He got this fellowship, woke up while he was out, became an apostate, and pretended to still believe in it to get reinstated and told everybody that Jehovah's Holy Spirit stuff is fake, I'm an apostate and they welcome me back into the organization. Explain that.
Explain it.
Explain it, because I know people who was not repenting at all and pretended, and they got let back in.
Yep. As long as you're fake, they are very open and accepting of you.
Yep.
And if you're a person who is actually like who they are, they don't like that. They don't like somebody who is just like comfortable with who they are within themselves. You have to be controllable. You have to be fake. Your life could be a complete disaster, but as long as it's private and it's not bringing forth like all of this, bad attention towards you, you can live it. You can live it, and they will be totally happy.
Yep, it's all bogus. And there's people, that were repenting and don't understand why they got this fellowship. So it just shows this whole thing is fake. And this is something we brought out before. If you, come, for one, you confessing because you feel bad. That should be repent right there.
Yeah.
You come to them, they disfellowship you, you get a chance to appeal it. Mm-hmm. Why?
Exactly.
Why are you appealing it?
You should have come upon the right understanding the first time. If you're saying that, all of this direction is coming from Jehovah, and Jehovah is the all-knowing, and you guys have this special, relationship with him.
Then how did y'all get the wrong answer, possibly to where you got to appeal something? It shouldn't be no appeal.
Yeah, and that's why, I get why people don't go and confess anything to the elders, because really they are just other humans.
Yep, just probably doing some wild stuff too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now they talk to Jehovah, get this answer, they disfellowship you, or you can also be reproved, or it will be private.
Public or private.
Yep, so basically that's where you're not quite disfellowship, but you lose some privileges around. Around stuff that is not in the Bible.
Yeah.
Carrying the microphones if you're a brother, or giving talks sometimes. Yep, commenting.
Because I was on private reproof and I couldn't comment for a while.
Yeah.
And couldn't give talks for a while. And I remember that time actually, it didn't feel so much like discipline.
Yeah, that's how I felt
it felt like a break.
For real, and that's when I got this fellowship. It was like, dang, my family gonna be sorry, but it was like cool. It was like I get to chill for a minute. I get some leeway. I get it was something I needed, and I end up coming back and slid off the door after that. But so this is what they got to do once they decide what they're gonna do as far as reproof or disfellowshipping. It ain't just between, all right, we're gonna do this, especially reproof. You got to be a public announcement. They are gonna wait until the next meeting, and you not allowed to tell nobody about it, which everybody does. Yeah, hey, I'm getting announced tonight.
Yeah.
People do that. And so at the end, usually it would be, I want to say, in the middle of the meeting. I want to say, unless they change it toward the end, I can't remember. Getting reinstated, I think they would announce toward the end.
At the end,
yeah. So basically, it's the meeting.
And everybody would clap.
Yep. And then at one point, see this, how you know this stuff is bogus. Then it was wrong to clap.
Yeah.
Then they changed it back to where you could clap.
Yep.
So this announcement comes during the service. All these people out in the crowd, everybody know you. They are going to announce that so-and-so, and it's so dramatic. Brother so-and-so is coming up with an announcement. After this person been on the stage for the last 15 minutes, they come up there, it's awkward silence. Everybody on the edge of their seat. Is it a good announcement? Somebody get in trouble?
Right.
They come up there. So-and-so has been disfellowshipped. You might hear sometimes, or so-and-so has been reproved. So it's to let everybody know that you screwed up.
Yep. And then that ends up being like a talking point for like a good couple days to a week after. Like, what happened? What happened?
And it spreads through they calling, texting people.
Other congregations. And somehow it just always leaks of like what happened, you know? And and then that's what you're supposed to go back to if you're disfellowshipped.
Ooh, and don't let it be two people get announced at the same time.
Oh, then
If it's in the same hall or this hall and another hall over there, then everybody know, it was them two both got announced at the same, or if it was too close, one person was this week, the next one was last week, they'd come up with all type of answers on what they think happened. All
kinds of answers. Yep. Yes, that is so true. I'm glad that you brought that up.
I forgot all about that.
I forgot all about that too. But two people getting announced at the same time, like, whoo-wee.
Yeah, they're going to paint all type of narratives. And it's just, it's a terrible experience. So of course you go through this judicial thing, and depending on your congregation, sometimes they would, elders check up on you in between, or they'll have you come in and have more meetings, and then when you want to get reinstated, you would have to write a letter.
Yeah,
and it had to be. Usually, if you was a favorite, you might be able to get to 6 months between the year, but usually minimum like a year.
Yeah,
it took me.
like a year.
I want to say, it was a 13 months, I believe.
Oh yeah, you were quick. That was quick.
And I put in 3 going on 4 letters.
Jeez.
Yup. And so depending on if the elders rock with you or if you were favored or not, they'll let you write back. So you write these letters in. How you sorry and what you've been doing, and they ask you questions to make sure you ain't been doing nothing against the Bible at all recently, which most of disfellowship people lie anyway.
Yeah, you know what? That whole disfellowshipping thing is just so not right. Like, just 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds getting disfellowshipped and not being able to talk to any of their friends or family. Like, that is
crazy.
not right.
Especially somebody that grew up in this, because who else they got?
That is not right.
No, it ain't right. And you see the results that lead to people's mental health dealing with this type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like that. It's the social isolation, Yeah.
And
then like a lot of people, like if you are still friends with them, kind of, like you don't want to just stop talking to them or like stop being with them like on a social media or something. But like imagine you're being told you can't hang out with worldly people. Yeah. But you also can't hang out with your old Jehovah's Witness friends. That's so messed up.
For real, that made me think this stuff is a lot like the jail system.
Yeah.
Especially like the 3 strikes law, like in California back during the Clinton era.
Yeah.
If you were coming home on parole, you couldn't hang around nobody else that had a felony. But you in these neighborhoods that's stripped of all their resources, and everybody is being thrown in prison. So when you come home, you can't hang in the neighborhood you grew up in. No. You can't hang around the people you grew up with, your cousins, because these people are also felons.
Yeah.
So who are you supposed to hang with?
Yes,
in the same thing, you disfellowship. You can't hang with other disfellowship people because they bad association, spiritually weak. You can't hang with the witnesses because they can't talk to you, and you can't hang with no worldly people.
Because then it shows that you're not really trying to get your life back on track. So you're literally supposed to be socially isolated for this entire time. And then like, because I always just think back to like my friend that was disfellowshipped whenever I was younger, and of course there was like a bunch of people, but I think mostly about her when I think about this because she was only like 6. I think she was only 16 when she got disfellowshipped.
That's
and
crazy.
So, and I don't know if the boy got disfellowshipped or not. I can't remember, but I just put myself in her position, like having to be like on social media or something and seeing all of your friends hanging out together. And you don't get to hang out with them. You know what I mean? You're not even talking to them anymore.
You're not even supposed to be friends with them on social media no more.
Not to mention, when she got back, like, reinstated, one of her old best girlfriends started, like, dating and liking the guy that she got disfellowshipped, like, with or over. Yeah. It's like...
But that's the norm in that organization.
It's the norm. Like, the amount of disloyalty and, like, backstabbing. And you're the one that's looked at as a bad person if you're like, I don't want to hang out with them.
Right.
Like, no.
It's easy to make you the outsider. Even, all right, so when you get reinstated, they make the announcement, and some people come up and treat you the same. A lot of people act funny towards you. You are no longer looked at as the same version of you. You looked at like a felon now. Oh, and that stuff, that's over your head forever. So-and-so, they've been disfellowshipped before. They did this back in the day. Like, that stuff is always going to be on you. And they say you're forgiven, but if you get in trouble again, have to have another judicial committee.
They bring it back up.
And that counts against you.
Yep, makes complete sense. It makes no sense that they are that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it also makes complete sense on why they are that way, because this entire religion is just like sick.
Yeah, it's the way to control people, and it's to play mind games. You strip all the resources from a person and make them come crawling back because you took everything else they had.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have to check out our video if you haven't, the 10 signs of a cult, because I could, if you are part of like religious group or even a non-religious group that has these signs, just be aware of them, because I swear we see these signs in like everything around us
For
now.
real, you can't unsee it.
No.
It's like, oh, this is a cult.
Yeah, you can't get us with one of them pyramid schemes,
Yeah,
because we see.
For real, every time it's somebody has something that's too good to be true and it's gonna cost you something in order to get it, or this person is gaining something that you not gaining in order to deal with them. Little stuff like that stick out like, wait a minute, you seem like you the one winning and I'm getting the short end of the stick.
Yep.
Cult vibes.
Yes, especially the way they try to like fluff it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even back whenever, was it during the pandemic when that thing was going around with the math and putting your money into it?
Yeah, I think so. All them PPP loans and schemes was going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like similar things.
It is. And that's kind of what you deal with in this organization. They strip you of everything, and like you say, they give you something and fluff it up. And it's like, all right, give me $20, I'm going to give you $5. $5? But look at this is a crispy.
It's like you put
this is a crispy $5 bill. Oh, okay.
That's what you're getting in reality, but they'll make it seem like, oh, you give me $20 and I'll give you $500. But they don't tell you what you have to do in order to get that $500.
Or peep this, they don't say when you gonna get the $500 either. It's like, man, when I'm gonna get my $500? Oh, just be patient.
Yes.
Just keep on. It's like working somewhere that don't give you no paycheck yet.
Yep. Just do this. You'll make it to paradise.
Yep. Just keep showing up to work. You will get paid eventually. Just make sure I see you tomorrow.
Just do this, do that. Like, don't talk to your worldly friends. Don't talk to your worldly family members.
Yep.
Go out and service every Sunday. Give us your money, and then you'll maybe make it to paradise if Jehovah sees fit.
And it's like, but this don't make sense. Are you questioning? Oh no, okay.
No, I'm not questioning.
Well, don't question anything. All right, that's not good. And they just go for it. But that's what happened with this whole judicial thing. I want to hear some of y'all stories below.
Yes, I did, and especially if you guys would be willing for us to share them, that would be awesome, because I think that would be so much fun to like share people's experiences.
Heck yeah, to put it on the platform.
Yes, send us a message on our Instagram page at Awakened Truths IG.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, and we will share your experience. You can let us know if you want it to be anonymous or if you don't mind us saying your name.
Yeah, please do, because that's just a couple of our stories, and this ain't even everybody else's that we done heard. This is just a couple of them.
Just ones we know of.
Yep. So shoot, like she said, the Awakened Truths IG, follow that. What else we got for them?
We have our healing journals, so definitely pick up a copy of that. And if you have already picked it up, send us a little review. We want to know what you guys think about it.
Please do.
And how it has helped you.
And on that note, what else they got to do before we leave?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.